Right.
Well, cheers to that, guys. We got it set up.
Cheers.
Oh, man.
It's
Well,
a little early for wine for me.
I know.
Just matches the color of behind the business.
Well, welcome, guys. Welcome to the yearly review,
Yearly wrap up.
yearly wrap up, and us testing out the the podcast with all the cameras now, and yeah, getting it going. Like this is a lot of work. You guys probably don't realize this, but we got. I wish you guys could see this right now. We got three friggin' cameras facing three different people with three different mics, and in the new studio. So, yeah, let's get it started. Does someone want to start it? So the way that this breakdown's gonna go is we got 10 topics here. The first 5 topics is gonna be about real estate, just kind of about the company, kind of what happened this year, and then the last 5 topics are gonna be about just some topics we thought we should talk about, and also we are only gonna allow us 5 minutes. So hopefully, with some good editing, you'll see the topics right here on this side, and a timer per per topic here. Cool.
Let's get it.
Lego.
Okay, so
Okay.
who wants to start the timer here?
Somebody did it.
I guess I could do it. All right. Go.
All right, let's. The first topic is YYC Real Estate Group, obviously.
That's right.
So this year how was it for you guys this year? Well, first of all, how was it for you, Dave, this year?
It's a pretty busy year, I would say, with all things considered. Like, definitely, COVID was a shock for us come March, April, just because that's usually the time that we're busy, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I think it was just kind of a switch for us, just because we had to essentially redesign our whole business
Yep.
to suit this online model. And I don't know, I think that we adapt to the times.
Yeah.
And I think there was a week or two where we were like, fuck, what are we going to do with ourselves?
Yeah.
And I think we just sat down and just figured out how can we improve and adapt to the situation, and just like rise above it, right? So I think that really helped us in, end of April, end of May.
Yeah, we actually moved a lot to virtual tours, and then we also did. I don't know. It was a nice little break,
Yeah.
and then we kind of feel like thought about a lot of things, pivoted a lot of with our business, and then this Errol guy gave us a call and wanted to join the team.
During COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
What day was that? What month was that around?
I think around July, right? So it's actually been a great year. So I can't complain. I'm definitely grateful, super grateful for it. You guys are really well organized. It's kind of like what I always say. It's like a symphony. Everybody knows their part.
Yeah.
Everybody knows what they're doing. So it allowed me to just concentrate on the ground, getting things done with the client, making sure that you give a one-on-one personal connection with them instead of on the phone, because that allows me to do that while you guys have a team that's organized that I came into, and it's flawless so far.
So far. Well, it took
Yeah.
a while to get like, as a business, we're always, I think, evolving and growing, and I think with you coming on board to, like, shifted our business also a lot actually. I think we realized, okay, if we're gonna have an associate, someone with us, now we got to double down on marketing. You know, we got to actually like create more structures and organization for the business, right?
Yeah, we had to think about somebody else outside of our own. So I think that it really helped our business as well, just because if we weren't within the capacity of what we could do between Jason and I, then the overflow would easily go to Errol, and we can support him in that way so that he succeeds, so that we all succeed. So I think that that change of having a new buyer's agent and also someone to join the team was a huge asset. So
Yeah, it's really well done. So we're pretty good, I think, for the year coming up.
And you killed it. You did a bunch of deals
How many-
during COVID. Yeah, how many deals?
Well, we can say it's still not done. Like I always say, December's still not over. But actually,
You got one more
honestly,
day, man.
Yeah, one more day. You never know. Which after this we do have a meeting, but it's around 8. Yeah, confirmed 8 this year. From starting, I think, fully starting around, let's say August, fully going on the ground after having everything I need. So from August until December 30th, right now, 8 sales. 3 of them were sellers that I sold with, and then 5 of them were all buyers. And then I also secured 3 rentals. Actually, moving into 4, if you count my own properties as well. So it was very good.
yeah,
Very, very good. I feel like I still feel very hungry. So
that's good.
But I'm very humble. So it's been a great, great year.
Yeah.
Well,
you did better than I did in my first year.
Yeah.
In your first 6 months.
Well, we didn't have the support, and
Yeah.
I think that was a
Yeah.
huge thing where I think you surprised us when we were giving you leads and you were closing them, right?
Yeah.
And what would you say to someone that's kind of had a struggling year in real estate? Because your mentality was, I think, you came very strong and hungry. So what would you say to someone that didn't really have a good year this year in real estate?
To be honest, maybe the organization's big. To be honest, because if you put time, like for example, if you're taking somebody out for showing or you're doing listings, if you put time into the client and figuring out just a nice way. Thanks, appreciate it. Yeah. Honestly, if you have time with the client, it gives you more time for you to concentrate on how to get the buyer to make the right decision and or how to make the seller get the best offer for the property. By having somebody who does conveyancing, somebody who does all the paperwork, it allows you to do that, and being organized is huge. So I would think this year, that's one of the points. If I didn't have that, it'd be a little bit tougher because I think it would be cut into probably 10% of sales. That's the fact, I think, because I would put more time into having to go home, write the offer, deal with that, where I can do 10 showings in a day. And during those showings, I can have an offer being put in and also deal with the seller because I can deal with the so it just allows you to create multiple actions, which can create better results.
Yeah, it creates more time for you.
Yeah, and that's something.
So join a team, I think. If you're by yourself, join a team. If not, ask for help.
Yeah, I think that was something I did not do at the beginning.
Yeah, I wish I joined a team earlier on, actually.
Yeah.
Because you'd learn a lot.
You learn so much more, and then like everything I learned was like kind of through the brokerage and like a kind of little like on your own, right? So it takes longer to grow, and that was a huge thing I learned this year too. Was like ask for people that already know what the next steps are, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I agree.
what do we are for time? Is it gonna beep or something?
No, it's over 5 minutes.
Okay,
6.
6. All right. Well, Equium. The move to Equium Group.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, that was
Yeah, that was like 6 months in the making. February, we started talking about it last year, right?
yeah. Well, this year February,
Oh, yeah. This last
but we actually we have been talking it for a while.
Yeah.
But we didn't know it was the move to Equium. So I felt like a lot of changes happened this year. The move to Equium I found was, I don't know, I was so stressed out with that. I don't know why. Just like the organizing and just like how many conversations did we freaking have, Dave?
Quite a bit.
Like,
Yeah, just like talking with the group themselves, just trying to figure out the details of how it would work for us. Just like planning how it'd be like if someone joined us like Harold, and then just the logistics of everything. Like we essentially had to learn the whole real estate side of business as on the broker side of things. even though that we're not the broker. We had
Yeah.
to learn the whole business.
Yeah, we had to learn how it all worked behind the scenes of having a brokerage, right? And I knew they had to jump through a lot of obstacles to actually get it done because I think they tried first with Equium Group and it didn't work or something, and then they created Equium Living, right? And yeah, that process was like 6 months, and at the same time, yeah, Errol was jumping on board, and I think we moved in October or something.
Yeah, October 1st.
Yeah, we kept delaying it every month, right? And yeah, now I feel with the move to Equium, that expanded our services of what we could actually promote and do, which is property management. And property management was, I think, something me and Dave always had in the back of our brain to grow.
Yeah, definitely. I think that property management is like a passive income for us.
Yeah.
And like we have the clients to do so because we have good experience in that, and also we have a lot of investor clients, right? So
Yeah, and for those like, we've been telling Errol to do this too, and he's gone it. But I think when you get the structures and have someone to actually help with the property management, it doesn't take away from the real estate. And I feel like that's what so many people advice were like, don't do property management, don't do property management. It's not worth it. But I think you could do it as long as you have systems and structures in place to help with that, right? Which we do now.
Yeah, I feel like it needs to be organized because if you're concentrating on property management, you get a call for real estate. You can't just give one person more attention than the other. And by doing that, if you have somebody maintaining it where it doesn't need your presence at all times, then that way you can still take care of it equally. But keep in mind, I just there's one great book called The One Thing. You guys have heard me say about it, but it says multitasking is not actually, you can't do it. It's not real. So as much as you want to do it, it's still, you have to complete one thing in order for you to do another thing.
yeah,
So you can do that by having somebody take care of that one thing, which allows you to take care of another
yeah,
and another, right? So that's what I think.
yeah. Being able to delegate is very important because then you can focus on the tasks that create the most income per hour for you.
Perfect.
So if those things aren't producing income or not like a good use of your time, then you should delegate it, right?
Yeah, totally. And I think that's the systems that we're setting up right now and have like in place to grow the company, right? So I think the Equium was good. Any thoughts on Equium or anything with the move?
I think it's great.
Yeah.
Just the way it's set up too. They're really well known. I think they got a good reputation as well, so it helps us. So even when we sold the other property there in Varsity, they knew Equium. They liked Equium,
Yeah.
so it's easier. Like we already had a good foot in the door
Yeah.
with them based on their track record. So it just makes it easier, and then we can just elevate the service, and then the word can be spread around.
Yeah, it's a good fit for us, just because of the brand recognition of it, and then also the freedom for us to do things the way that we want, advertising wise.
Oh yeah, we're gonna hit the shit hard next year. I know we've been like
Yeah,
planning it all this month, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So I think the freedom to do things the way that we want was a huge thing. So
Yeah, huge. Do what we want and to get support from them.
yeah,
That's
Well, they
big.
manage some of our condos too, right? So I'm on the board now of some of them because of which I am like, what the hell am I doing here? But yeah, like it was a good move, and I feel like I think next year is gonna be a game changer, especially if COVID passes, right?
next
So-
topic.
Yeah, Airbnbs and property management. I think we kind of dived into a little bit property management, but Airbnbs, man, we got wiped out this year.
Yeah, Airbnbs are pretty solid in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just like sitting back here, like I don't know what that feels like.
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
felt the pressure.
Yeah.
Airbnb was good. Like we had built it to a certain point where it had like good systems. Like the process was pretty solid. Back end ran great, right? So once we created that model, we were like, fuck it, let's expand it. 10 Airbnbs.
Yeah.
Like we had in line probably to be about 15 in 1 year. And then,
Well, we started with one, and then two, and then it was like four, and then going into COVID, March, I think we had about 10.
yeah, 10.
And fuck, they all got wiped out, man.
Yeah, we got rocked by COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now we're back at one, so we got to reboot it, right?
Yeah, it's not dead. Like all the systems for everything is still there. It's just a matter of when the opportunity arises, we just turn it back on.
Yeah. Yeah, we have everything there, and maybe that's something we'll show you also, Errol. But the Airbnb was a good market. We missed we were banking on Stampede and like
Yeah,
the summer.
everything.
Like,
Oh,
March.
yeah, this whole year was like
gold mine.
Yeah, it was. I think the competition now has definitely dropped because they passed the new bylaws in Edmonton, right? Where the rules is like for short-term rentals, they could actually ban the Airbnbs if it was in the bylaws, right? So the condos that actually allow it is very rare.
Yeah.
So if you are allowed to do Airbnb, the competition is low.
Yeah. It was a good option though. I mean, it still is. It's just a matter of when things kind of go back to what they were.
Yeah.
But we'll see how that goes.
And the thing with Airbnb is, I kind of want to talk about rental rates here, is Airbnb guys actually inflated the rental market. It actually increased it because a lot of people were renting it just to Airbnb.
Yeah.
And when that got wiped out, that's why you're seeing a huge drop in rental markets downtown, especially because the condos that got hit that didn't allow Airbnb anymore, they all had to convert to long-term rentals.
Yeah.
And when there's like 30 condos coming up that switch from Airbnbs to long-term rentals, I mean, you got to look at that competition. It was hard to get some places rented out.
Yeah. It really saturated the market.
Yeah.
So,
At the same time, though, it's really helping. Like, for example, like if I deal with only renters, it helps me because at one point I was renting it $200 less. Now, it just blew my mind. So it also helps support out of country, like so out of province, out of country investors to convince them to say, hey, this is worth buying and renting because
Maybe for outside
price
though.
too. Yeah.
Not the core. The core downtown is fucked, man. For condos, like
yeah, it's quite saturated, and there's so
Dude.
many units in there downtown now that are for lease only.
Yeah.
Like you can't even buy it, right? So
shoot.
when they own the whole building, it's easier to manage the price.
yeah, like downtown, man. They're still building. So many condos got converted back to long-term rentals, and like Dave was saying, a lot of buildings right now are rental only. So when you're investing, you got to look at like the market supply and demand, right? That's why I think outside of the downtown core, it's easier to rent out because there's less competition, right?
True. Yeah, 100% true.
And now we could. What's the time here?
4 minutes.
4 minutes. Let's get into the Calgary real estate stats and
Let's do it.
now where it's gonna be the mortgage rates. I'll just give you guys a quick, some quick information here. We'll pull it up on the screen when I edit this, but let's go. When we go year to date, okay, year to date total sales, we are still down about 1%, 1.33%
In December?
year to date from compared to 2019.
That's not bad.
So new listings are down 8%, 8.88. The prices haven't changed. The prices haven't really changed. The average price is down 0.09%. And the days on the market are low though, 6.78%. So 59 days to 55 days. And well, this year in December compared to last year, total sales is about 38% higher this month. And then this is crazy. Total sales from December 23rd to 29th, 2019 to 2020 increased of 78%. and then new
Wow.
listings coming up. Last week is almost up 100%, 92%. Active listings dropped 20%. So my question is,
What a year.
yeah,
What a year.
this year has
Wow.
been crazy. Starting off with March, April. I mean, dude, there's no sales. I don't think we did a sale
No.
those months.
The one thing that's caught my attention is days on the market compared from 2019 to 2020. It's actually close to 2 weeks less for you to sell your house. Like it's faster for you to
Yeah.
sell your house.
Now.
'Cause it said 64 days in 2019, and in 2020 they averaged of 55 days.
Yeah.
That's insane. And that's during COVID, guys.
Yeah. That's why, even with COVID, I feel like that wasn't the issue, because we were still recovering from 2015, right?
Yeah.
So 2020 was set to be a year where things were starting to pick up because the numbers in 2019 were on that upward trend. But then COVID hit, and it kind of threw everything into like threw a wrench in things. And but the thing is that the people that were probably saving from 2015 still have that money now, and now the interest rates are even lower, so it's easier to qualify for a property. And if you already have down payment, then what is it and you didn't lose your job, what's to stop you from actually purchasing at a discounted price, a lower interest fee, and easier to qualify? So I think that was like one of the major motivations of the market. And also maybe people were stuck in their homes for like 2 months and realizing, fuck, I need an office, or like I need
Yeah.
more space. I need something that this house does not really offer me anymore, especially condos downtown.
Yeah, we saw a lot of actually people sell and buy,
Yeah.
upsize, right?
Upsize, yeah.
And then a lot of investors came out this year. So I think, I don't know, man. With the low interest rates, I don't know where do you guys see the market going next year?
Just from the talk around, it's just from the interest rate. That's what's attracting everybody.
Yeah.
Because, for example, even if you're selling it, some people are stating that even if I'm selling it at the same price I bought it, I can just buy another one, even if it's more than what I can afford, but I know I'm locking it at a good interest rate. So some are like, to pass it down, or I know I could never get this at this interest rate or at this price, right? So when you're selling it, you're also getting it a good, somewhat, because if it's a good location, good property, it's still going to compete,
Yeah.
but you can still get a good price, but you're going to lock a nice interest.
Well, with the low interest rates, man, like you just can't go wrong with that.
Yeah.
Refinance.
For now.
Like what is it right now?
1.5?
1.5?
No.
1.6? Yeah.
Yeah, 1.5.
1.5.
Dude, it's
Jesus.
I locked in at like 2.3,
Yeah.
thinking I got in a good deal this year,
Yeah.
and I was like,
2017, 2.4. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm telling everybody, I was like, I got the best deal in the market.
yep.
Yeah.
Now I didn't want to talk about mine interest. Well, I just did, but
It's really relative though, because like in the Canadian mortgage market, like the terms are like 2, 3, 5, 10, whatever it is, right? So just because you're getting the rate at this low rate right now for the next 2 to 5 years, what if it doubles or more in that time? Like that's something that people need to consider as well to getting into the property, that just because the rates are low now, you also need to be able to afford it when the rates are high.
Well, and that's the thing. I think the stress test they have, right, which is 2% higher, but I don't think the banks can increase the rates in 5 years. Well, they can do whatever they want, right?
Yeah.
But like it's gonna impact so many people,
It is.
and like
But they don't care about that. That's the
yeah,
banks.
because when it becomes a seller's market,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a whole different game,
Yeah.
guys. Right?
Yeah.
That's how I think.
Yeah.
Slowly, like you remember, they're not gonna give one thing without not being able to take another thing. Like it's gonna come sooner or
Mhm.
later. They're
Yeah.
gonna get their money back, but it's not gonna be as damaging as it could have been.
Yeah. Well, the thing,
2020, 2018,
Yeah.
2008, and all that. So
yeah, they did it essentially just to help stimulate the market and
Yeah.
not collapse the market.
Yeah.
And the Bank of Canada has guaranteed that they will not increase rates until after 2023.
yeah.
So rates could change dramatically by that time. We won't know because, I mean, there's a lot of debt being created right now out of nothing.
yeah,
So-
because they're just pushing it out.
Yeah.
But in the end, though, so there is just to be aware, right? It's always to be cautious in what investment you want to make. At the same time, I think the biggest thing is being able to check out what the next neighborhood will be.
Yeah.
Like Inglewood is next, right? It's already getting to that point. I think it's already reached. It's getting there. So what will be the next one? You know, that's what I think will be the next I think should be the topic is what is going to be the next neighborhood for people to invest, and that could be a good turnaround. So even if the interest go up, you can kind of take away from that.
It's hard to say which neighborhood's going to go up. I mean, I think Calgary alone. I don't know. I'm pretty optimistic with Calgary. I'm like, it's going to rebound in 3 to 5 years. It's been going down for how long, right? And it's kind of, I feel like this might be the bottom. I don't know, right? If you look at this year with this pandemic, I mean, prices haven't actually gone down, right? So yet, right? Exactly. So where's it going to be next year, right?
Yeah.
And that's the question, right? Because I thought this year would have been hit hard.
So in 2015, that was still pinnacle price point because of oil, right? Even though we hit a recession, it took 2 years, 2017, to actually hit the bottom. So this is just kind of the beginning of the effect of everything. So I don't think a year's time is enough to figure that out. I think next year will actually be the real test because there's more layoffs coming off. And I mean, less jobs means...
So you think the market's going to come down next year?
I think so.
It's tough. That's tough to say because I feel like it just keeps going, right? Like it keeps getting higher.
But what's driving it though?
That's tough. Like I don't want to say just the interest rate because that's just kind of like plain to say it. I feel like it's also an illusion of people. It's like people think like it's the best time. Like I have to do it now. Like now is the time. So it's that mentality too. I think that's being spread around, which is not a bad thing, but at the same time, cautious.
Yes.
Yeah, it's. I don't know where the market's going to be next year. I think we've seen the bottom, but you never know.
Okay, because the one reason why I say that is, check this out. Active listings in just December 29th to the 30th. We have
What are you looking at?
Stats.
on the stats.
Okay.
Just from right now, right? New listings and total sales. Total sales from December 23rd to the 29th is 175.
Yeah, double.
December.
It almost doubled, 80%.
Yeah.
In
So like,
December,
and
yeah.
that's I'm talking about 29th. So that's as of yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
No,
and
but that's a week though.
yeah.
December 23rd to 27th.
So that's why
yeah.
I'm saying what's gonna drive it keep going is this last week, it's 78% increase compared to last year.
That's what I mean, man.
So I'm like, that's why I'm looking at the day. I'm like, I hope, I don't know, but
You know how
I feel like Calgary is like always high and low, like lows.
it is.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
volatile
it's
because
so
of
volatile,
the oil and gas market. But oil and gas is fucked right now.
I know.
You talk to anybody oil and gas, they're all bearish about it. Like the projections are low, the production is low, layoffs are high. Like that's the common thing. Like oil and gas makes up at least 30% of Calgary's economy, and everything else has an effect of it. When oil and gas dies, it affects everything else. It affects spending. It affects hospitality. It affects like dinner and everything too.
Transportation,
Right? So, yeah.
the goods. Like check this out, guys. I actually am gonna break it out and let